Right.
Just, okay, hold on. You're going to have to unmute, Mandy, you'll have to unmute. Please unmute.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay.
And then talk about the chat, and then I will, I'm ready
Okay.
when you are. In 1 second, here we go.
Okay. So we've disabled the chat box because something that I find when I'm doing these poems and speaking these poems is that it's not that I go into a trance. It's not a trance. It's just an other state that flows through me when I'm reading the poem. And if there's lots of distractions, like when we have the waiting room on, and every so often there's a little banner comes up and shows, oh, somebody's coming in, somebody's waiting to be in. Or if there's lots of chat going on in the chat box, I just find it really distracting. So at any time, if you want to say anything, please, because we're not using the chat, it'd be really handy if you just put your hand up. So I think everybody knows how to use the hand thing, because at the bottom of the screen there's the react button that looks like a heart, and when you press on that you can see the hand. And hope we do hear from you. But Joni, if you'd like to, just before you do, I'm going to just ask Joni to screen share. But I had a new poem already for today that was given to me last week. But then Spirit suddenly changed its mind and wanted to do something about the deeper meaning of inauguration. So I was just given this poem yesterday, and then the whole sort of modus operandi of what I was going to do on the call. Not that I don't have it like planned out exactly. It's just like there's usually an idea, like just the very subtlest theme or something, but it doesn't matter to me if it doesn't go in that direction at all. But today I felt a great insistence coming through me about doing this. And then I was given this poem. So if you'll permit me, I'm going to read it to you. And if you're okay to screen share it now, Joni, that would be really great. Thank you. That's it. So, Divine Government, an inauguration power poem. In truth, a human mortal government is just a mirage, as divine intelligence is the only one in charge. And although we think we know it, as we're on a spiritual path, in daily life, we may just get sucked in to other people's wrath and take sides and make divisions and post on media our positions. And today is the inauguration. But what exactly is the true interpretation? What's the dictionary's illustration? A fresh beginning, an initiation, the forming of a new foundation, establishment, origination, a swearing in of dedication, an opening, a consecration to being of service to the nation. Is this starting to ring any bells? Yes, we must inaugurate ourselves. Since our inner world reflects all the things that we expect, our divine government is found within when we consecrate our lives to Him. It makes no difference who's been elected. When we dwell within and stay connected with I, the only power and source, then our experience will reflect this force. There is nothing whatsoever to fear when we know omnipotence is here. Let's initiate our own inauguration ceremony of dedication. Let's, I'll just say that again. Let's initiate our own inauguration ceremony of dedication to letting go and releasing all our judgments and ceasing listening to our inner mental tales and slowly slipping off the rails of nowness and ease, the center point of peace. And so we bless our true president, our governor and commander, while just observing our opinions like a witnessing bystander and not going into battle by letting every word rattle that we hear from the news. We can right now change our views and bless who's presiding by seeing what's abiding beyond the outer president with all his countless tasks is the inner light of holiness, the eye behind the masks. Our constant reminder must be who's really in charge. And all outer appearances are just a mirage because I, only I, only I am in authority. I, only I have the absolute majority. So we'll just close our eyes for a moment and feel that I, which is the absolute majority. So there's a lot to quite sort of unpack in that PowerPoint, but I just wondered, um, and we'll, certainly read it again at the end or at some point in the meeting. I just wondered if anybody had anything. Please don't worry if you don't, but I just wondered if anybody had anything they wanted to, that it made them feel or say, or any comment. Oh, Lynn, hi.
Hi. Oh my gosh. Wow. Yes, and exactly what's necessary today and every day, actually, because to remind me that it's all about me. It's not about who appears to be out there in that world doing whatever they appear to be doing. They're actually doing what I'm asking them to do uh, because I want to see. There's Rafi. Because I want to see their guilt. I want to see, I want to look, I want to see that things, that God is not in charge. That's how the mind wants to see things. So this is just turning it around and reminding me that I'm the one who is in control of all of these things, and I'm the one who chooses what it is I want to see. So if I want to see, a despot, taking over the world, then that's my world is going to be that of being a victim. But if I want to recognize that I'm the one who has the choice, and the only choice I have is to recognize that there is only one power here, and that power is the only one there is. There's not, no man, no government, nothing has any power over the Son of God. So, reminding myself that, it's God that's in control here of me, my life, and everything. And however I decide to project guilt and evil out, that's crazy thinking. And I can choose what I want to see. So I chose, as you were reading that poem, and I have on the screen up above me all the inauguration stuff, the news is on. And I chose to look at these two leaders, presidents, one outgoing, one incoming. They were driving in their car to someplace, and I just, looked and focused on them and recognized, you are an expression of God's love. And just as I'm an expression of God's love, your only purpose here is to express God. So, there's I pray that you're all inaugurated, and I am inaugurated too, to be just that very thing. Because holding grievance, guilt, anger, fear, all of those things are saying there's another God out there, and I think he's more powerful than the one that I know in me. So anyway, that's what I had to say. Thank you for that beautiful poem, Mandy. And I
Oh,
would love to of course, you're going to send it out. So
yes, yeah. Thank you so much, Lynn. Oh, that's terrific. Thank you. John, you've got your hand up.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you very much. And Lynn, thank you for your commentary. But I'd just like to give you my experience there, Mandy, and that was it just settled me right down into a quiet space. And it was so, so beautiful just to have that experience, it's of authenticity with all those other entities that were in that poem. It just went so beautiful for me. And it just allowed me to have an experience of another miracle just to just to bathe and embrace that, Oh my goodness. Thank you so much for that. Just wonderful experience. It's hard to put words into miracles, but that's what I just had.
Oh, thank you so much. You see, I think that, when I started to listen to this inauguration, that word, and I decided to look it up in the dictionary and to go really deep, and I meditated and contemplated on it. And it was as what Lynn said, it's not just about today, you see. The inauguration and all those lovely descriptive words about what the meaning is absolutely crucial for us every day. But and the thing is that if we have opinions, every single so-called person in command has always done 50%. You might not hear of it because there might be somebody who appears to be a very good man or woman in charge, but you don't know what's going, don't know what else is going on in the background. And people that have been seen to be doing so-called good all the time have also been doing their share of not so good, and vice versa, and everything is happening just for awakening. And this inauguration, I mean, it's such a crucial juncture of this whole thing. It's like where the rubber meets the road of all these opinions and ideas we have of good and bad, which is just all ego, isn't it? It's just all mind stuff. And if we are sucked into all these opinions all the, to time like this. I mean, this is the testing point. Can we not be pulled into all these opinions and good and bad at today, at this crucial day? And it's our opportunity to just expand. Well, everything you said, Lynn, it was just really beautiful and clear. Joni, yeah. You're mute. Yeah.
Thank you. I agree, obviously. And what I wanted to say was, I was talking with Elizabeth this morning, and I still resist, even though I know better that this is for me. I still want to, post something that I think is funny, but she knows better. Like, that's not funny. You're, you're taking sides. It's a resistance that I'm looking at. I mean, trust me, I'm a lot better than I was 4 years or, whenever the last time was. But I still want to project out the control, or I want to be right, and I want to be a victim of it, a victim of something. I don't think that when I'm posting,
It's so
I mean,
cute, Joni. It's you're an example of cuteness right there. It's cute because the mortal mind is so into, oh, this isn't fair, or this is fair, or that's not fair, and we're going to say something about it. But it's a dangerous game to play. It really is. No matter how many people you think you've got on your side, it's there aren't sides. Hey, Rafi. Yeah. Oh, sorry, Joni, had you finished?
yeah, no, that's good. I was just outing myself.
Thank you. Hi, Rafi.
I want to thank you, Joni, because you just brought up all the stuff that I need to release. The one in control, the resistance, it came up to leave. Thank you, resistance. I love you, and I let you go. And then the wanting control, the wanting to be right, that I let go of wanting control. That's what this is there for. All this is there to show us the stuff. If we react to it, then we have stuff to take care of. And if we don't react to it, we're in peace. And we're seeing it from the proper point of view, which is coming from our infinite self, where everything is complete love. You just mentioned, you just used it to trigger a word that I love, victim, because the ego mindset is a victim mentality. There's a world out there and I got to handle it. I got to be afraid of this and I want that. And I got to be afraid of this and I want that. And it's a great opportunity. What I saw was brilliant opportunity, but to keep letting go and staying in the moment and getting to the peace, the quiet that we truly are. It's a fabulous opportunity. Thank you.
That's why it's the crucial juncture right now, more than ever. It's brilliant. Yeah, exactly. Linda.
Oh, absolutely the most perfect timing ever today to hear this, because I live in Toronto, I live in Canada, and I'm proud to be a Canadian. And so much has sent me down the rabbit hole in the last month or two with what's happening. And I choose that just puts me in a place of separation, and I don't choose to live from that place. So, what I realized this morning from our Course in Miracles call, lesson 20, I am determined to see. I am consciously at choice in every moment. So, do I choose my agitations? They're my invitations to look at things differently. So I have been journaling this morning after our call with Maureen. My agitations are invitations. So how do I choose to look at this situation? And that's what it is. And how do I want to show up myself? So it's been a miracle to hear you this morning and just to reinforce to me that where do I choose to put my thoughts? Do I want to be in peace or not? And it's all a conscious choice of what I choose. And we're all one. So this is where I choose to live. So this is where the rubber hits the road for me, is every day's class and your power poems are all wonderful as we sit together as one. But as we go out in our world, what are we demonstrating? How are we showing up? And so it's, as I say, my agitations are definitely been my invitations today, and segue into your beautiful class, and your power poem has set me up to deeply look at this. So thank you so much, Mandi.
Oh, thank you, Linda. Thank you so much. And then we've got Mickey and then Joni. I loved what you said. Thank you.
I'll just real quick
Oh, yeah.
And I hope it's okay to keep mentioning Elizabeth, but when we talk about the light from the lesson 20, and she was talking today about us bringing the darkness to the light. And when we talked later about me still posting, I didn't want to look at the darkness. I really, this is for me, because what I resist, as Rafi was saying, will persist. And here I am. I've gone many days without doing this posting, but I slipped again because I didn't realize. I mean, I thought it was, I just wanted to be right. But also, I'm resisting looking at the darkness in me. And so thank you, Miss Keats, because she holds my feet to the fire.
Love it. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, Joni. Mickey and then Carrie. Hi, Mickey. Hi.
Hi. So I want to thank Rafi for bringing up that control issue, because pretty much we can narrow every desire we have to a control issue. I used to have it so bad that I had a little joke with a friend of mine. We would joke around about on Coronation Day, when we were crowned queen, we would implement all of these systems that were going to fix everything, that we knew the answer to everything. And if somebody just put us in control, on Coronation Day, the world would become a paradise and no one would have any problems whatsoever. And it just jokingly, we really nailed our issue that we wanted control of everything. And we all think that if we just had control over our lives and over pretty much half the other people's lives who we know, everything would be just fine. If everyone would just do what we say, or we could wave a magic wand and nobody else would have the problems that they have. No one would have any addictions. No one would have any wants or desires. We all have a control issue, and that's the most important thing I think we need to look at, and like Rafi says, release it. So yeah, we all have our inauguration day, but we gotta look for letting go of that more than trying to have all that control. So that's what I'm looking for. Thanks.
I think that's great, Mickey, because I mean that's exactly what we're looking at. The whole thing that appears on the news is about power, control, inauguration, but we can't escape that it's in us. Absolutely, anything that's in world mind, we wouldn't even see it out there if there wasn't a shadow of it, at least in us. So, yeah, that's really great. So we've got Carrie and then Sharon. Carrie, hi.
Good morning, Mandy. I was just going to say that obviously this is perfect timing, and it's so easy to get caught up in this and to feel overwhelmed and alarmed, and oh my God, history is repeating itself and people are sleepwalking through this. And I appreciate two things about this. First of all, just to center yourself that even if you do have those moments where you're caught up in your mind, it doesn't have to be evidence of any type of failure or anything. You don't have to take your thoughts seriously. You can just center yourself again. And also you don't have to take what's going on around you that seriously either, because it's all an illusion, which you don't always, it's not always so easy when you're in the middle of feeling anxious or fear to remember that. But I appreciated that. And I also appreciated how people were talking about it's not just what's going on right now today, but this is like a metaphor for whatever is going on that's causing us grief or stress or fear or anything like that. So it's just a very good reminder.
Oh, thanks, Carrie. And yes, I mean, we will continue to hear things that we may not like or agree with. So then, more than anything, yeah, we just come back to our self-inauguration. That's the most important thing. Yeah. Sharon.
I'm sorry. I'm getting there. Everything changed on my iPad, all this Zoom stuff, and I can't find anything. Okay. So thank you very much for the poem. It really brought it in, and I could relate it to what I'm working on right now. I'm sorry. Nope. Resurrection. And that every moment I have a chance to choose new. And I held myself away from watching what was going on or watching the news. And then I just decided this is a soap opera. And I just, if I can, I have my own little stuff. And that's a big soap opera. And it's going to affect some of my stuff. But I haven't been in charge in a while. So I think I'll just stay not in charge. Well, you know, when you look at, okay, what would they do about that? And what would they do about that? I have no idea. And I think, oh, well, I would do this. And then I think, oh, well, that doesn't work for that. And obviously, God can see it all, not me. So I really appreciate the poem. It just really moved things for me so that, yes.
And thank you. I'm going to send it out later. And I've also made a little recording because I know you like audio files better as well. So I'll send that out in the email as well. Oh, Joni. Oh, yeah, Joni. Yeah.
Well, I wanted to add also that this poem is it when we talk about the inauguration of ourselves, I can choose to look at the ceremony and everything that's going on, like we talk about Halloween. You know, they're wearing masks because I know that they are the Christ. It's only when I make meaning out of the masks or what they say, which my ego does love to do that. But I'm working on it. I can now, when I look at it, I don't have to negate it or not look at it. If it's in front of me, I can know that it's still the Christ, and I don't know what anything's for. So
there was a wonderful. I'll find it and I'll write it out and I'll send it. I was watching a video of somebody, I can't remember his name, and he was a sort of spiritual psychologist. He was brilliant, and he was talking about this thing of not looking at stuff, and there's this really famous poem, and it was anyway. Basically the story is there's a guy in Paris, and there's all this, you might know it, and there's all this darkness in Paris, and there's all this war, and everything that's going wrong in the world is just in Paris. The only place that's in the world is Paris. It's just Paris, and Paris is getting darker and darker. So he thinks, well, I'll go a bit further out. You know, I'll go to Rouen or something. He goes to Rouen, you know, and then this darkness is spreading, and it's just getting worse. So then he goes to the outskirts, and he thinks, oh God, where in France can I go? And he's going all around France, France is a big place, you know, looking for a place where there's not this darkness, but the darkness is spreading out more and more and more. But then a good friend says, if I were you, I'd just go straight back to Paris. Yeah, and I thought it was really funny, which is mean that rather than running away from it, you just get in there head on, you face it. Because whatever you face, as Rafi knows, you let go. When you see whatever it is that you're personally scared of, worried about, disgusted by, when you face that head on and just release it and see your own need to control, you know, you live back in that alignment again. It pulls us back. Yeah. Lynn. Mhm.
Oh, this is just so lovely. Yeah, so what I recognize is that what I'm really seeing when I'm looking out there are my own thoughts. That's all I'm seeing. I'm not seeing the Christ in a mask, although that's a really good analogy, and I've used it for years. I'm seeing my own thoughts about that. So I'm looking at the mask and I'm saying, he does this and he does that, and he thinks this and he thinks that. There are many other people who do not see that. And if the family doesn't see that, the children don't see that, they see a whole different thing. But what they're seeing are their own thoughts as well. Just like I'm looking at, this screen here, looking at everyone here, all I'm seeing are my thoughts about Mandy, my thoughts about Joni, my thoughts about Rafi, my thoughts about Linda. All I'm seeing are my thoughts about you. I'm not seeing what you really are. And that's why I can just change how I think. I can change my thoughts. These thoughts do not mean anything.
Don't mean
We're going through those lessons. These thoughts don't mean anything.
that one lesson there, these thoughts don't mean anything. It's kind of all we need in this, it really is, because so Joni, before you post, these thoughts don't mean anything, I'm not just talking to you, darling, anybody, it's just anybody that hears this as well, that posts, everybody posts or everything, but it's just your own thoughts all the time. I mean, that's why in the poem it says you can change your point of view, it's just a reflection. You get what you expect, and that's really crucial. You get what you expect. So just be proud. If you're going to be proud, just be proud that you are the Spirit of God, that you are the I am presence. That's the thing to be proud of, and that's the only thing that can never be taken from you. Can't be taken from you. Nothing can happen to that. I just wondered if we could put the poem up again now, but a little bit smaller. So if you can, Joni, you're so marvelous. So I just wondered if you could sort of scroll a bit more down at a time. So do you know what I mean? It doesn't matter if it's smaller, because I've got my reading glasses on. I'm not gonna read it so much meditatively this time. I'm just gonna read through it. So I don't know if you can make that a bit smaller. Don't worry if you can't. That's it. It's just so that I can see more at a time. So that's brilliant. Perfect. So I'll just go from there.
Wait. Do you want me to scroll it up once you get to the bottom?
Well,
Like it.
Well, like when I'm saying, like on the third paragraph, sort of at the beginning of the third paragraph, just scroll it so I can see a bit further down. Do you see what I
Okay.
mean? If you
Okay.
can, that'd be
No,
great.
I
Fantastic. Okay, so I'm just going to say it again. Divine Government, an Inauguration Power Poem. In truth, a human mortal government is just a mirage, as divine intelligence is the only one in charge. And although we think we know it as we're on a spiritual path, in daily life, we may just get sucked into other people's wrath and take sides and make divisions and post on media our positions. And today is the inauguration. But what exactly is the true interpretation? What's the dictionary's illustration? A fresh beginning, an initiation, the forming of a new foundation, establishment, origination, a swearing in of dedication, an opening, a consecration to being of service to the nation. Is this starting to ring any bells? Yes, we must inaugurate ourselves, since our outer world reflects all the things that we expect. Our divine government is found within when we consecrate our lives to Him. It makes no difference who's been elected when we dwell within and stay connected with I, the only power and source. Then our experience will reflect this force. There is nothing whatsoever to fear when we know omnipotence is here. Let's initiate our own inauguration ceremony of dedication to letting go and releasing all our judgments and ceasing listening to our inner mental tales and slowly slipping off the rails of nowness and ease, the center point of peace. And so we bless our true president, our governor and commander, while just observing our opinions like a witnessing bystander and not going into battle and by letting every word rattle that we hear from the news. We can right now change our views and bless who's presiding by seeing what's abiding. Beyond the outer president with all his countless tasks is the inner light of holiness, the eye behind the masks. Our constant reminder must be who's really in charge, and all outer appearances are just a mirage because I, only I am in authority. Only I have the absolute majority. Thank you, Joni. That was perfect. I get to see it all then. Yeah. I only wanted to read it then in case anybody hadn't seen it or you just wanted, it may have triggered something else that you wanted to. John.
Yeah, thanks for reading that again, Mandy. That was just amazing. Actually, it's kind of started to settle down in me now. Basically, and I'll tell you what's new for me is the constant reminder, and we restart them starting with the mirage and who's in charge. You know, in that, it's a reminder for me. It's simply this: that we're condemned to choose. And I have the choice. It's as clear as a bell. It simply goes, well, what you said, ourselves, or the true president. So I'm starting to put wheels on this, the rubber on the road, as you say, but I'm putting my boots on it, and it's so beautiful just to hear this. I just want to say that it's settling down in me now. Thank you again for reading it again.
Oh, thank you. It's a pleasure. Thank you so much. Yeah. Again, it's just every subject, whatever it is, whether it's this Christmas, New Year, anything that seems to be an event, it is just really all about releasing all this stuff and you know, seeing, I like Lynn was saying, that you're just looking at your thoughts the whole time. That and releasing, those are just the two things. Because whenever we see segregation, well, we just know that we're on we've come off the wheels a bit then, haven't we? You know, I mean, I write these things for me, you know, they're to remind me, and then I share them just to see, you know, they may be of help to anybody else. Not help, nobody needs the help, but you know, just if it's expanded my view, then maybe, you know, it expands our mutual view. So yeah. Mm.
I can't find the hand rise thing. I'm sorry. I've been.
Oh no, don't worry about that. Hi, Elizabeth.
Yeah, I wasn't going to talk because when Joni mentioned this, she mentioned the inauguration, and I said, I don't want to come if this is going to have anything to do with the inauguration. I have no interest in that. And I have been experiencing all kinds of resistance this whole time. And I just had the awareness of how one of my stories is that I am so alone in the way I see the world, and I'm right and everybody else is wrong. And it's not that I'm a Trump supporter. I don't support any of them. I don't really like my country very much. So I go to this place of real isolation. I almost left a couple of times because this kind of experience reminds me of that story that I cherish. And I kept saying, I had other plans for this morning, so it is perfect that I am here. And as I kept, feeling that resistance and discomfort, to me, that's, oh, this is very important for you, Elizabeth. It's very good that you're here. So yeah, that, as Joni and I said this morning, it's always about bringing our own darkness, and everybody has same darkness and different darkness, and I have this dark story of I'm alone in my perceptions of things, and it's very lonely. And I wanna release that. I want to pat it on the head, release it, and send it on its way. So thank you for listening.
Well, thank you, Elizabeth. And pardon me, Rafi, just 1 minute. I just want to say to Elizabeth that I'll let you into a secret, Elizabeth. First of all, I'm very glad you're here. That's not the secret. That's open. But the secret is I knew nobody would want to hear it. I even said I was given this divinely in my meditation. I was told to do it. And I said that that's the last thing they'll want. I said they'll all want to use this call to get away from all that. I said, and I'm not even American, although all of this affects, apparently in the world mind affects the world, But I was very resistant to even taking down the poem, and the thought of presenting it here to all of you was just not what I wanted to do. I just thought they'll think, oh no, nobody will come, or they'll sign off immediately, or they'll think, God forbid, I'm preaching. I thought, oh, God forbid, don't let me do, and it's just what I need to. But it was absolutely clear that I was just supposed to write that poem and present it. So thank you very much for sharing, because it allowed me to share that, yeah, I had the same thing going on. Oh, yes, Rafi.
My gratitude is boundless because all I keep going is just acceptance, yes, acceptance, yes, acceptance, yes, acceptance, yes. Everything is unfolding exactly as it should for my benefit. Acceptance, yes. What am I supposed to learn from this? What do I need to get rid of? What is it showing me that I'm holding on to that has to go so I can get clear and get back to the quiet that is the reality? And what a blessing. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. It's just great. It just goes to show you, well, it goes to show me that this ego victim mentality, I don't like this, I don't want this, I don't want that. I'm like, hold on. That ain't what I am. I ain't feelings, I ain't thoughts, I ain't body, I'm not any of that stuff. And what should show it? But it's here. I'm not gonna criticize it. It's the enemy. Jesus said, love your enemies, then you don't have any enemies. What's it teaching me? What do I need to let go of? Yeah, I'm so grateful. Oh my God, this is so perfect. And that poem hit the mark. It just hit the mark with all of this. You get me, and I went right back into acceptance. The only thing above acceptance is peace. So yes, peace, yes, peace, yes, peace. And so now all of this is, somebody earlier called it a soap opera. Well, that's what the stuff, the situation, the whatever that is that's going on in Washington, where they're going to do all of that stuff. You know, I've been alive 85 years. You know how many inaugurations I've gone through? And the pendulum swings this way, and the pendulum swings that way, and the pendulum swings this way, and the pendulum. And I'm just sitting there watching the pendulum. It has nothing to do with the truth of what we really are. It's all just going on in the dream. What is it? What's in it for me? What do I have to learn? What can I get out of this so I can see what else I can let go of? It's just perfect. Thank you so much.
Oh, Rafi, thank you so much. Because, like I say, I was really grateful that Elizabeth said what she said, because I was really nervous about. That's why I said, I said to Joni, don't show this to anybody before. And I was really intent that I was not going to send the email out saying that I've had a change of heart and this is what we were going to do. I didn't dare. I thought none of you would turn up, you know, and I was really kind of nervous about, you know, presenting it. But yeah, like the pendulum swings this way and that way. And whoever looks shiny and crystal clear and really goody, they aren't, we find out later, and vice versa. The bad's not so bad, the good's not so good, you know, because there is no good and bad except in that in mortal mind, you know. So yeah, it's funny, really. Mm. Oh, I love what I bet. Yeah.
I'm just thinking of that George Harrison song. I'm just sitting here watching the wheels go round and round.
Oh, yeah.
That's
Love
it.
that one.
It's just going on and on. And you just gotta let it go. Just gotta let it go.
Today,
Rafi.
we're also celebrating Martin Luther King Day. Okay. So here's the two sides of the ego coin: the saint, Martin Luther King; the sinner, Trump. Okay. What are we learning from this? That it's all part of the dream. And that's an ego, concept. Opposites are an ego concept. And there's no such thing. There's only the oneness of being.
That's
So
it, because both
what am
sides
I gonna align myself with? The oneness of being, or am I gonna, play this game of back and forth, back and forth, back and forth? The game is mind occupying. My job is to quiet the mind so I can see what's beyond it, and to see what's beyond it is the truth of what I am.
That's it. That's it. And you know, and it's all both sides of the same coin, because you know, I mean, this is a beautiful discussion, and I personally feel that there's no personally feeling, but there's just such a bond here. It's so absolutely equal. It's so full of love and wisdom here, and so full of light. And I mean, you know, things like this, they highlight all this light, literally highlight, you know. So and it is just a joy and a game, and yeah, yeah. So I really thank you. For the last time, I would really love somebody else to read the poem. Joni, would you like to read the poem this time?
Sure.
But Joni, if you say quote unquote, I'm going to stop you and make you start again.
I won't do it again.
Just leave out the quotes, just carry on. But I love how you read the poem, so please. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Divine Government and Inauguration Power Poem. In truth, a human, mortal government is just a mirage, as divine intelligence is the only one in charge. And although we think we know it as we're on a spiritual path, in daily life, we may get just sucked into other people's wrath and take sides and make division and post on media our positions. And today is the inauguration. But what exactly is the true interpretation? What's the dictionary's illustration? A fresh beginning, an initiation, the forming of a new foundation, establishment, origination, a swearing in of dedication, an opening, a consurrection, to being of consecration, to being of service to the nation? Is this starting to ring a bell? Any bell? Yes, we must inaugurate ourselves. Since our outer world reflects all the things that we expect, our divine government is found within when we consecrate our lives to Him. It makes no difference who's been elected when we dwell within and stay connected with I, the only power and source. Then our experience will reflect this force. There is nothing whatsoever to fear when we know omnipresence is here. Let's initiate our own inauguration ceremony of dedication to letting go and releasing all our judgments and ceasing listening to all our inner mental tales and slowly slipping off the rails of nowness and ease the center point of peace. And so we bless our true president, our governor and commander, while just observing our opinions like a witnessing bystander and not going into battle by letting every word rattle that we hear from the news. We can right now change our views and bless who's presiding by seeing what's abiding beyond the outer president with all his countless tasks is the inner light of holiness, the I beyond the mask. Our constant reminder must be who's really in charge, and all outer appearances are just a mirage. Because I, only I am in authority. Only I have the absolute majority.
Oh, thank you, Joni. That was beautifully read. Thank you so much. Well, I hope you all have a great week and enjoy every moment of what's going on, knowing what's really going on is not really going on. And it is cute, and we'll just not get drawn into what anybody else wants to do, either agree with us or not agree. So I hope that it's been okay for you the way that we've done this meeting. I certainly found it really helpful to just have less distractions and not have a chat box, and just the meeting that if you don't mind all coming just 5 minutes before like you did, it's great, because then it just means that me and Joni can have a little chat each week for 10 minutes before we start the call and sort everything. And I just want to say a huge thank you to you, Joni, because honestly, you are just amazing. Yes, big round of applause for Joni. She just does all this stuff, and I keep saying, oh, let me know if it's too much for you, and she just does. And whenever I say to Joni, look, you don't have to reply today, do it tomorrow, or she does it immediately. So, it's just incredible. So thank you so much, Joni. And thank you.
Elizabeth had her hand up, please.
Oh, yeah, Elizabeth.
Just briefly, how it was a totally different poem. And today's lesson in a course is I'm determined to see, and it was like, oh, holy mackerel, this is a lovely poem.
That's funny. Oh, great. Oh. Oh, well, I'm glad you liked it in the end. I'm glad you were here. So thank you, everybody.
Thank you so much, Mandi. Thank you. Thank you. It was a wonderful hour. Thank you.
Oh, thank you.
Love you all.
Love you
Yeah,
all.
this has been great. And thank you, Mandi. Thank you, Joni. Wonderful. Everything. So I'm so grateful.